fucked with the movie Love and Basketball. I didn't see it until I was like 18, and people have been telling me, like, oh my God, like, I love Love and Basketball. That's such a good movie. That's my favorite movie, blah, blah, blah. And I had finally seen it, and I was like, why the fuck would this be anybody's favorite movie? Especially a woman's. Because there's plenty of female friends that I had telling me they love Love and Basketball, but when I seen it, I'm like, this is humiliating. This is not a love story. This is not cute. From the beginning, when he pushed her off that motherfucking bike, I didn't like the goddamn movie. All the way to the end, when he made her play for his heart, after he dogged her out, chased him for years. Yeah. And it was one of those stories that's just like, men will really make you work for them if you allow them to think that they're the prize. Bitch, please. This nigga play his heart out. For his heart, mind you. And they said, just kidding. I chose you. What?
You know, I'm glad somebody said it, because I also hate the fact that black people think this movie is romantic. Love and Basketball. How did we ever put that in like a top 5 black movies category? I distinctly remember the first time I ever watched this movie as an adult. I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone, and I don't understand how I ever watched this movie with a different perspective before. There's no way on earth you're telling me that man came off of a career, got up out the bed off of a career-ending injury to dog you on the court, and so you could not be with him. Am I tweaking, or was the wife not in the house? Was there kids involved? Don't remember exactly, because I remember I watched it at one time, seeing what kind of shit it was really going on, and I was done. It wasn't she a side chick at one point, everything like, baby, you couldn't have paid me to be on that fucking court. And she just looked so sorry, limping away, and then he gonna turn around, double or nothing. Is the wife not in the house when you're literally running up and kissing this man on his basketball court? Was she not there? Did she leave? I don't remember.
Okay, so I don't know when he said this, but Love and Basketball was not a love story. It was a horror film. It was not until that man's dream humbled the fuck out of him that he decided to choose her. And even doing that, it was a movie and a story about settling for what's familiar. And I really can't believe 8-year-old, 9-year-old me was freaking foaming at the mouth and so choked up about it. Like, looking back on this movie with healed and mature eyes, it really brings about a whole different perspective. Yeah, the shit was trash, and for real, I won't be elaborating further.
Why the fuck did I just watch Love and Basketball as an adult? I mean, as a real motherfucking adult. I gotta be an adult because I see this shit so differently now, okay? First thing first, the nigga didn't even like her for real, okay? How the fuck, when we was younger, did we think that this was real love? Because he didn't even like her for real. She was always into him more than he was into her. I mean, from the very beginning. Then she let his old wide head ass be her first, when he didn't even deserve to be her motherfucking first. Okay, cool. We all make dumb decisions. I ain't judging. Okay, it is what it is. She gave it up. Okay, they was together. Cool. It was all cute, fine and dandy. But then he got on that bullshit. You broke up with your girlfriend because your daddy cheated on your mama. Nigga, what the fuck? That got to do with me. That got nothing to do with me. Niggas' mamas get cheated on every day, nigga. What the fuck that got to do with me? I'm not finna miss curfew for that shit. Like, that was some hating ass shit to do. Then he went and clapped somebody else's cheeks. Broke that girl heart. The girl didn't even want another boyfriend after that. You hear me? Didn't even want another boyfriend. Then she didn't even get her cheeks clapped by nobody else. I was so disappointed in her. Came all the way back. The nigga knee fucked up. The nigga was still treating her like shit, and he had a broke fucking knee. Like, anytime a motherfucker say, play me for your heart, and the nigga whoop your ass in the game, baby, the way I would have twisted that motherfucking kneecap all the way up, that nigga would have been out there hollering and screaming. Yes, and I wouldn't even want him. It's like she just waited around until he finally got his shit together and wanted to pick her. I don't like that. How the fuck did we think this was a real love story, like a real good love story? Because, baby, this ain't it. This shit done piss me off.
I talked about women's programming. You know, they watch a lot of crazy shit. But you notice how women really hate, especially, obviously, it's a black movie, black women really hate Love and Basketball. And I want to kind of dig into their hatred for the movie. Oh, it's a horror film, or You know, she was a pick me. She chased him, and he was the prize. Dad was in the NBA. He was a top hooper. He was a top dude at his high school. He was that guy, right? But there's the women that sit there and prop Pretty Woman up. They're prop, you know, it was a Lisa Ray movie back in the day when she chopped off the dude penis, and women was all, yay! You know, they'll prop up the movie with Kathy Bates, Misery. You know, they'll prop up all these movies. You know, I'm just throwing movies out there. Unfaithful, or they'll love the best man when he found out the old girl Monica Calhoun cheated on him, and he, you know, they'll prop up stuff like that. You know, well, she's being too thirsty, and he had, that's life. And a lot of y'all, the reason y'all see it as a horror movie because it's y'all life. The A1 guy you gotta fight for. That top guy who could come from a good family, who an athlete, who tall, who got all that motion, y'all fight for him. Y'all sometimes y'all don't even fight for top guys. Y'all fight for dirt broke, busted, disgusted guys. Y'all fighting for pookies, drug addicts, ninjas who can't read, ninjas who can't write their name, ninjas who flunked out of school. Come on, niggas that ask for money for a 0.5. It's a horror movie because this is y'all life. Y'all sit here, y'all give y'all the best years and y'all bodies to guys that don't want nothing to do with y'all. See, women that sit here and talk about being a pygmy, making the guy play this too much, or decentered men, all this shit that they speak on. But behind closed doors, for men, multiple men, and men, they doing everything he say do. She busting down. My first video on the Patreon, one of my first videos was a reaction video where women are confessing, doing these confessions, and the girl said that she met a dude on Tinder and he had her busting smoking meth and robbing banks for him, and he pumped and dumped her. What are we talking about? As much as y'all say what y'all don't be doing for men, dog, a lot of y'all will sit here and let a dude do whatever he want to do with y'all. That's why y'all got all horror movies about men ain't shit and this, that, and the third. And y'all think if y'all put y'all vagina first, that it's going to guarantee y'all a golden ticket to a relationship or to a marriage. Y'all think if y'all have a baby, that's going to make them change. Y'all think if y'all get married to the dude that he going to stop cheating and being a woman. That's, just be honest. Y'all like that shit. Y'all like chasing. Y'all like competing. Y'all think it's a horror movie because that's your life. You can't get the man that you want. Only the truly, like, just based off aesthetics, only the truly top elite looking women can show up and just be eye candy and marry a guy. And usually they don't marry the fucking the top dudes, or dudes that's good with women who got money and status. Those guys don't marry those guys, other than that, most of the top bad bitch trophy wives, they usually marry simps with money, simps with the bag. But they look at this, they couldn't get the jock in high school, or they look at this, these is how women end up doing a team too. They think they so naive. When you see how naive women are, bro, especially young women, they'll sit here and sleep with every player on the team. They'll sleep with all the homeboy, all the guys, homeboys and best friends, and then ask why he won't cuff her. They willing to do any and everything for these guys. A lot of this is a mirror to women, bro. They did all this for these guys on their prime. They did the team. They let the dudes run trains on them. They sucked them off. They busted down. They was clingy. They cooked. They cleaned. They chased the guy. And ultimately, unlike the ladies annihilated in this movie, they couldn't get the guy. They couldn't get the guy. Oh, she is so thirsty. She's a pick me. And a lot of them do the same thing. The difference between y'all and that's annihilated in this movie, y'all couldn't get Omar Epps. Y'all couldn't get Quincy. Y'all did all this. You couldn't even get Quincy to stay until the sunrise. They couldn't even get Quincy to stay until the sunrise. That's the difference. Y'all did far worse than she did. Y'all done fought niggas, baby mamas. Y'all done fought over them, stabbed women, caught cases over dudes. We see it with NBA Dumbboy. Y'all done talked about y'all done paid all the bills for a guy and don't build the man up. He just gonna y'all do it for the wrong guys. Y'all just attracted to the wrong guys. But then again, these the same women that are prop up a movie like Pretty Woman, a prostitute that meet a tricking ass nigga and talking about that's a love, that's romantic. I love that movie. The same women that are prop up Scandal, Black Woman, and Kerry Washington, who a bottom bitch to a white president. This bitch in-house pussy, a bust down pussy, and y'all that have fantasies about that. Just think about they dumb asses. They'd rather be embarrassed about fighting for a guy that you want. Y'all fight for a career, y'all fight for a job, y'all fight for feminism, but a guy who provides great family genetics, great legacy, generational wealth, a guy that you attracted to who meet the height requirements, who you know is family, you know what I'm saying, that you've been chasing, that's not a flex. A guy that you love, that's not a flex. We all understand she had boyfriends, he had girlfriends, he had life experiences, and they came together at the end to be together. It's plenty of people who had that story. That Sarah Fonte lady talk about she married her best friend in a week. Let's just get married. They had history together. For them, it was the right time. Plenty of people, especially back in the day, y'all have life experiences and y'all come back together and figure that's best for y'all. But to y'all, a love story is a fucking prostitute, which most women wish they were prostitutes. That's one of their dream jobs, is to claim that cat, because now y'all ain't got WAP. Slang that WAP and get paid for it. And a lot of y'all are unpaid prostitutes. A lot of y'all are off the books prostitutes. Y'all ain't on OnlyFans. Y'all don't sell it. But if y'all need school clothes, you need to pay this, that, and the third. Y'all will. Y'all try to make it discreet about selling that WAP, selling that dry ass WAP, selling that cat. And y'all feel good because I can be a hoe, I can be a prostitute and a simp, like, what was it, Richard Gere in that movie, A Pretty Woman? He can come save, I can get saved. He don't care about my body count. He don't care about I used to sell pussy. He don't care how many STDs I caught. And that's why women like that feel good shit. They don't like the real shit. They don't like reality. Love and Basketball is a real love story. It showed the ups, it showed the downs. It showed young people who grew up loving each other. They went off to college, had different life experiences. They broke up in college. They went together in college. They got back together at that's life. A lot of y'all did far more. Y'all think that's a horror story because that's your story, but you couldn't get to Quincy. And a lot of y'all love Pretty Woman because y'all think some top dude is gonna come save y'all from y'all fucked up situation, and it's not gonna happen. But hey, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon.
There's going to be someone in your 20s that tells you to watch this movie, and that is me. This movie changed everything for me. I watched this movie when I was 11 years old. If you're 11 years old, you should not be watching this movie. Okay, I blame my mom for that. But I fell in love with Richard Gere, and I think that's the reason I do love a great older man. Not saying I only go for older, but like I had the biggest crush on him. I still have the biggest crush on him. And then you have Julia Roberts. Who does not love Julia Roberts? If you don't like her, I think you're weird. The concept of this movie is just so unlike any other little rom-com. It's the way they met and how they fell in love, and just everything is just so not typical. And I think that's why I love it so much, because random little love affairs, or just like when there's like a little knight in shining armor that like saves her from, if you saw this movie, you know what she was going through, you know what she was doing. So it's like, he was there. I will forever love this movie. I don't care what anyone says. Literally my favorite movie in the whole entire motherfucking world. I've probably watched it over 30 times, and maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe I should. But watch it. Please watch it. Please watch it.
Okay, so I'm scrolling on Netflix, and I realized there was a movie that I mean, it's one of my favorite movies, y'all, but y'all probably gonna judge me when I tell you what this movie is, because, yeah, it shouldn't be my favorite movie, but it is. Hold, please. Y'all remember Pretty Woman? I know a lot of women probably remember this movie. I feel like this was like a movie that a lot of women would have fell in love with, but Richard Gere is probably the reason why Richard Gere and Julia Roberts are probably the reason why women think that they can do whatever the hell they want to do and still find the man of their dreams, because that's exactly what this movie sold, right? Because she was definitely a hooker in California, working the streets, and Richard Gere, I think, was actually going through a divorce in the movie or something like that, but him and his wife, or ex-wife, we'll call her that, were not on the same page, because she felt like she needed to be at his beck and call when she probably had her own career, she had her own life going on, and he expects her to be able to stop what she's doing to appease him because he's a wealthy guy. So he, meets Julia Roberts. Again, when you're a sex worker in that line of work, you're paid to be at their beck and call, which is exactly why he hired Julia Roberts for the night. So he's driving around, he happens to see her, and they hit it off. They hit it off so much, he introduces her to, his lifestyle. She's trying to fit in. She's being judged by the way she dresses. So this is like, I find this movie is just so, I feel like it just teaches a lesson. It teaches a lesson in more ways than one. Because not only, she does get a happy ending, which typically is not real life, but it shows you that how she was dressing and how she was carrying herself had caused people to judge her. Like the scene where she had, he told her to find a dress, a cocktail dress, because he wanted to take her on a dinner, meet with some other potential business partners. So she goes to a store to try to find a dress, but she's judged because all she has is her hooker attire to go in as, right? So automatically the women in the store automatically start judging her. And then also his business partner, Richard Gere's business partner, he tries her when he finds out what she does for a living. So he thought he had a way in because he thought it was just something temporary, and that, she was just there for a temporary time. He was paying her, Richard Gere was paying her. He felt like he could do the same. But that just goes to show you how much you carry yourself and the impression you give matters. Even though he ended up falling in love with her, that's not always the case. Let this be a lesson learned.